Praise the Lord. Welcome to Bible Prophecy Forum. My name is Evangelist Seth OLALE'S from Nairobi, Kenya. I'm speaking to you today on Wednesday, the 6th of November, 2024. Babylon, America, yesterday just had their elections on November the 5th on Tuesday, 2024. I want to share with you what I believe is going to happen, and according to what I believe God showed me is going to happen in Babylon, America, regarding the elections that happened less than 24 hours ago. As I told you in my previous videos, I have posted two videos. I've posted around four or five videos concerning Donald Trump and Kamala Harris. There is a video I posted on YouTube on this channel 8 or 9 months ago in early 2023. It is regarding a dream that God gave me. I believe that dream was given to me in the year 2022, around November or October or late 2022. And in that dream, I dreamt that Joe Biden had been rushed to the hospital with an ambulance, and he was very sick, and I never saw President Joe Biden leaving the hospital in America. And then after that, I was shown the current Vice President of America, Mrs. Kamala Harris, holding a Bible or a religious book, and she was being sworn in as the 47th President of the United States. That is the dream that I had in the year 2022, towards the end of the year 2022. And I even posted it on Great Miracles Avenue, and I posted it on my YouTube channel. And then the other dream that I dreamt in November, I dreamt that dream last year, and I posted it last year. In that dream, I saw that President Donald Trump was walking in the streets of Nairobi without any bodyguard, and President Donald Trump did not have the American Secret Service around him. President Donald Trump was walking alone, and he was not wearing a coat or a shirt or any t-shirt. He was half naked. And to me, this is a symbol that I believe God was telling me that President Donald Trump does not have enough security, and he is open to attacks by his enemies. Because I saw Donald Trump walking along Ronald Ngala Street and Tom Mboya Street, towards Tom Mboya Street in the city of Nairobi. And Ronald Ngala Street is named after a politician in Kenya who died prematurely. He was from the coast Mombasa region. His name was Ronald Ngala. And I saw Donald Trump walking along Ronald Ngala Street, and he was heading towards Tom Mboya Street. And those of you who know about the politics of Kenya, you know that the politician who is called Tomboya was also killed by a bullet, and he died prematurely in the 1960s, actually in 1969. So to me, it means that the life of President Donald Trump was going to be in danger. That is why I saw him walking around without bodyguards and without any American Secret Service, like all other presidents in America are given Secret Service. The fact that Donald Trump was walking half naked, wearing only a trouser but without a shirt or a bulletproof jacket or even a suit and a tie, it means that America is now vulnerable. It means that America is now open to attacks. I believe that was the dream and the meaning of the dream that God gave me about Donald Trump. I never saw anywhere in any dream President Donald Trump being sworn in as the 47th President of America. And should Donald Trump win the elections of 2024, presidential elections in America, then it means that that dream that I dreamt in 2022 and I posted on my video of Seth prophecy on YouTube, then it means that that dream was not from God, and I will have to remove it from my video on YouTube, and I'll have to apologize for deceiving all of you. And I'll go back to my knees in prayer and seriously think about my prophecy dreams that I've posted in the past. And I'll have to ask God for forgiveness, and I'll have to ask you for forgiveness, and I will have to reconsider about me posting dreams and visions on YouTube. But as I have told you before, there are dreams that God has given me in the past which have come to pass with pinpoint accuracy. One of them was when I dreamt that America was under attack and I saw skyscrapers burning with fire and big flames and big, huge smokes billowing from skyscrapers. And then I heard the voice saying, in my dream, I heard the voice of God or the voice of an angel saying, America will be attacked. I dreamt that dream on September the 10th at night in the year 2001. And then the next day I woke up. I remember we were living in Kayole in Nairobi in an apartment that is called Maria House. I believe the owner of that apartment was a Catholic, or he had named that building after his mother or his wife. We were living at Kayole at a building and apartment called Maria House. And when we woke up the next day on September 11th, in the afternoon, we had a black and white television. They were called Great Wall television from China. And when I switched on the television, I was shocked to see that the Twin Towers in New York were burning and were in flames, and there was smoke billowing all over the Twin Towers because, according to the news reports, Al-Qaeda, a terrorist organization led by Osama bin Laden, had attacked America using planes. So their prophecy came to pass exactly as I was told. Another prophecy that I was given was about the post-election violence in Kenya in the year 2007 in December. Just a few days before the elections were held, I dreamt that Kenya was going to slip into great political violence, and I heard the voice of God telling me in a dream that God was going to harden the heart of the sitting president, Mwai Kibaki, and Kibaki was not going to hand over power to his political rival, Raila Amolo Odinga, who many believe had won the elections of the year 2008 in December. And the elections happened after 1 or 2 days, and it happened exactly as I had dreamt. In the dream, I dreamt that I heard the voice of God, or the voice of an angel, saying that, in that dream, I heard the voice of an angel, or the voice of God, saying that God was going to send his sword of judgment to visit Kenya from the north to the south, and from the east to the west. And once the elections in Kenya were held, there was great violence because many people believed that the opposition leader, Raila Amolo Odinga, had actually won the elections. When Kenyans went to bed after the elections of December 2008, Raila was leading by over 1 million votes. So all the opposition supporters of the opposition leader, ODM, they were rejoicing and they went to bed knowing that Raila was the next president of Kenya. But some shenanigans happened during the night, and the elections in Kenya were rigged. They were thoroughly rigged, and by the next morning, it was being announced that President Kibaki had won the elections, and great riots and pandemonium and violence broke out all over Kenya, and over 1,000 Kenyans died because of the political violence, the post-election violence that God had told me that was going to visit Kenya. I even went and shared it with some ministry and churches and Christian pastors, but they never believed what I told them. They dismissed me. But Kenya went into political violence for almost 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and many people died, homes were destroyed, and businesses were looted, and there was great damage to our infrastructure, and many people were injured, and many women were raped. So I believe that the same God who showed me those visions and dreams in the past was the one who showed me the dream about Donald Trump not having enough security, and also about the swearing in of Kamala Harris as the next president of America after Joe Biden. I want to share with you what I believe is going to happen in America. Many Americans believe that the 2024 elections are going to be won by President Donald Trump. In fact, many of you are already rejoicing that the former president of America, Donald Trump has already won the 2024 presidential elections. And it is this great hope and expectation that Americans have, that is going to plunge America into great chaos, violence, and confusion, and finally into a devastating civil war. Should anything happen to Donald Trump, and then Kamala Harris is sworn in as the next president of America. Because this is exactly the same template and the same thing and the same pattern that happened in Kenya in the year 2007 December and 2008 January. Donald Trump is a populist candidate, and he is loved by the masses, just like our opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga. These two, they are mavericks, and they are populist politicians who are followed by millions who have put their hope in both Raila Amolo Odinga and also Donald Trump. So I can see that America Babylon could end up following the same pattern and mistake that we saw happen in Kenya in December 2007 and January 2008, when majority of the opposition leaders voted, and they knew that the Kenyan opposition leader Raila Amolo Odinga had won the presidency, only for them to wake up the next day and to hear the announcement by the Electoral Commission of Kenya announcing that the sitting president Mwai Kibaki had won the elections of 2008, because people started protesting and rioting, and people started fighting each other, and Kenya almost went into civil war. Were it not for God sending the late Secretary of the late United Nations, Secretary General of the United Nations, the late Kofi Annan, and the President of Tanzania, Benjamin Mkapa, and the former President of Mozambique, Joaquim Chissino. I don't know his other name, but his name is Joaquim, I think, Chissino, or something like that. And also the former president of Nigeria, the one who is a friend to Raila. I know his name, but his name is disappearing from my mind. There was a former president, Olusegun, the former president of Nigeria, the former military guy, and there was also the president of Ghana, who was sent to Kenya to broker peace, and also the first lady of South Africa, the former first lady of Mozambique, and the wife of Nelson Mandela. They were the people who God used to come and bring peace negotiations in Kenya. Otherwise, Kenya would have gone into civil war. Therefore, the same thing that happened to Kenya in 2008 and 2007, the same thing can happen to America, because all the majority of Americans, they have got all their hope in Donald Trump, because America economy has sunk. Americans are losing their homes, things have become expensive, and America has been invaded by millions of illegal foreigners who are taking up jobs from Americans, and they are even evicting Americans from their homes, and the crime wave in America have gone up. Americans are being killed and robbed by these illegal foreigners from other countries, especially Venezuela and South American countries. Therefore, Americans now, they have pinned all their hope upon Donald Trump. Many American, even Christians, they love Donald Trump more than even they love Jesus Christ. Donald Trump is now an idol that has been raised above the Lord Jesus Christ. Donald Trump is like the golden calf that the Jews worshipped when Moses went up to collect the Ten Commandments. When Moses went up Mount Sinai, and he was fasting for 40 days and 40 nights, and Moses delayed according to the Jews, and when they saw that Moses was not coming back in a hurry, the Jews told Aaron to build them a golden calf, Baal, which they collected all the gold and the silver, and they created a golden calf called Baal, which they started worshipping and dancing around and praising as their god. They used silver and gold. Therefore, even now, many Americans have invested in gold and silver as a way of investing and getting big profits. Some of them have invested in Bitcoin, and they have put their hope on Donald Trump. So, should anything bad happen to Donald Trump, many Americans are going to go into deep mourning, and they are going to go into total denial, and great violence is going to come upon America once Americans believe that President Donald Trump has been denied his rightful victory in the elections that were held yesterday on November 5th, 2024. And that is how nations are plunged into chaos. Also, I want to use another example about what happened in Rwanda in the year 1994. In Rwanda, in the year 1994, in April, there was a president in Rwanda who was called uh, Juvenile uh, Habyarimana. The president of Rwanda, he was called Habyarimana, or something similar to that name. And the president of Rwanda was killed in a plane crash in 1994 in April. And this president was very popular with the people of Rwanda, especially amongst the Hutu majority. So when the president of Rwanda was killed in a aeroplane accident, actually it is believed that his presidential plane was shot down by a missile used by the Rwanda rebels, the Tutsi rebels. But some people say that it is the French who provided that missile that was used to bring down the presidential plane that was carrying the president of Rwanda at that time. And once the president was pronounced dead, both the president of Rwanda and the president of Burundi were killed in that single strike. I believe this was the work of the Illumina, TI, and the work of the Frima, SONS. Rwanda exploded into great violence and civil war, And this is how the Rwanda genocide happened in April 1994. You need to go and watch the movie called Sometimes in April, and you'll get a good picture of how it happened. There's also another movie called Hotel Rwanda that depicts the Rwanda genocide of 1994, where over 800,000 Rwandese citizens of Hutu and moderate Hutu and Tutsis were killed when Rwanda went into civil war because their president, who was popular, had been killed. So, as I told you in the previous videos, I dreamt that Donald Trump was walking around without any bodyguards and without the American Secret Service. And President Donald Trump is very, very popular, and should anything happen to him during this American presidential election season, should anything happen to Donald Trump and he is removed from the face of the earth, either by accident or by conspiracy, America is going to be plunged into civil war, even worse than what Rwanda genocide went into. So, if you are living in America, you need to pray, you need to organize yourself, you need to locate the safe areas of America. I wouldn't advocate for you to live inside big cities, and if it is possible to move out of America for a short season, the better. But if God has not given you the finances to move out of America, I will urge you to join hands with fellow Americans and do